While at my swim club the other day, I noticed that some of the picnic tables were looking pretty old, so I thought, hey, great idea for a do-it-yourself project. I started by taking all the wood off. Most of the bolts had to be hacksawed off due to the heavy rust. Then I purchased new 2x12s and cut them to 6 feet in length. I measure one board and set the quick stop at one end of the stand to save time. In the end, I will be doing a total of 3 tables. In this video, I will only show you the making of one. I know what you're thinking, what's so hard about putting together a picnic table? Well, it's style. And keep watching and you will see what makes a John's do-it-yourself picnic table stand out. Selecting the 3 best boards, I bungee them together and draw out the club logo on the surface of the boards with a Sharpie. What's going to set my picnic table apart from the others is a relief of the club logo on the surface of the table. So let's get down to business. First, I take a 1/4 inch flat router bit and I set it for about 2/8 of a depth deep. Without any tricks, I simply start routing out the logo. Yes, I'm doing this free-handed. I go slow and use the skills taught to me in kindergarten. You know, the ones where they always say, stay within the lines. I have sped up the video for you so you don't get too bored. I do each board individually. There are 2 reasons for this. One is in case there is a difference in the elevation between the boards and it changes the depth of my router as I'm routing. The second is because it allows me to get really close to the bit so I can see what's going on with the cut. I have the board clamped to the miter saw stand and I'm sitting on a bucket so I can get really nice and close. The reason for choosing 2/8 of an inch as a depth are because I don't want the relief to be too deep as to tip a glass if placed directly on the logo. Once complete and all the sanding is finished, the relief will be right around 1/8 of an inch deep or more likely even less than that. To save time and make your straightaways perfect, route a part of the straight line on each end and then take a piece of scrap wood, preferably a piece that is straight, and while using your router as a guide, clamp the board in place on both ends and then make your route straight across. This will not only save you some time, but it will make your straightaways on your logo very sharp. Before I put the table back together, I'm going to take a 5/16 round over router bit and round all the edges of the seats of the table and the outside of the tabletop only. This will provide a little more comfort to the individuals that use the table. I simply clamp each board to my miter saw stand and quickly route the edges. Before I bolt the table back together, I sand off the Sharpie lines from my logo. At this point, it looks like I'm losing my logo. Don't fret, we will be staining the inside of the logo to really make it pop. I'm not trying to lower the relief here in any way. I'm just making sure that all the Sharpie lines have been removed. Once that's complete, I drill my holes and bolt my table back together. I throw down an old towel and grab some American chestnut stain, left over from a few shadow boxes I have made. This is the lightest stain I have, and I'm hoping that it gives it just enough of a hint in wood color change to make the logo pop out without making it too bold. This time I will be using a brush. I need to take my time and stay in the lower portion of the relief. Keep a paper towel handy and wipe up any spots where you have too much excess. If you get any on the upper portion of a relief, don't worry, we will be sanding one more time. It looks pretty dark right now, but once the polyurethane is on the wood, it will darken the rest of the wood and make the stain look less noticeable. So now we are going to sand one more time, this time focusing on any spots caused from the stain that had strayed beyond the raised relief. Once this is complete, you're ready for the polyurethane. So for the final touch, I take some simple clear gloss fast drying polyurethane and put a nice thick coat on the table, top and bottom. This will protect your wood from the elements and help it last much longer. If you're going to skip this step, and drop the logo for that matter, you need to use pressure treated wood so your table can be painted and endure the elements. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.